fix this join thing with this multiplayer, and man, I cannot do it. I've tried everything. I've tried static IP addresses. I've tried port forwarding to, I mean, there's my IP address. I've tried default gateways. I've tried assigning new default gateways. I've tried wireless. I've tried wired. I have tried everything. And what is really bizarre about it, and in my new capacity with Microsoft, I'm going to have to start speaking to people about this, because this will not do in education, or at home in these times of remote learning. This just doesn't do. And so what's weird about it is that I can connect, or have connected, with some people. And then I was speaking to one of my colleagues earlier today who said, oh yeah, it just stopped working for me. She was connecting with, she'd had some kids connecting with some other kids, and then it just stopped working. And so it's intermittent. So it either works or it doesn't. And that's what's really frustrating me. So anyway, so let's see. So we're back anyway, and we are back for more renewable energies this evening, and we have a new machine. For those of you who are just joining us on whichever platform you're watching, we have a new machine which looks like this, which looks way more complex than it actually is. Don't worry. It is basically a giant wave machine which fills up a battery, and then that battery is then that battery is charged and or runs out of battery. So before we switch it on, I'm going to show you what I mean. We're putting plants into here simply because they've already got lots. That's interesting that one's gone. That does, and that almost does. How interesting. Anyway, we're putting plants in there simply as wattage. The plants model wattage of energy, or kilowatts of energy, whichever way you want to do that, but certainly wattage of energy. The rail cart will go around here, and because of the direction it goes in, it will move along these detector rails. And these detector rails will then create a wave formation using these pistons. So this first piston will close the gap, and it'll do it in a wave formation. That wave formation, that redstone block there, will tell one of these to disperse into these hoppers. And all of these hoppers lead to the center one, this one here, which then runs down and drops everything into this last hopper. But before the hopper can drop its contents into the chest, at which point it's just a dumping ground, these comparators send a signal to say there has been a change to here, i.e. the battery has been given power, and so this one basically says keep emptying it. So this is when you need a charge. This light is not on, and so you need a charge, i.e. the battery is too low. When this light comes on, because this comparator says every time you build up these things, send it to here so you can build up an electrical charge to light up this, that will go off to say, oh, we have a charge. So let's try it. So basically we've created a battery system that understands when it's full or when it's empty. I think I got that right. Anybody who's on that wants to help me out here, tell me if I got that right. So let me go for a cart. I already had a cart, I just couldn't see it. Right, here we go. So we're going to send the cart off this way, and you're going to see the wave formation. Wave, 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 wave. Wave, 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 wave. And all of a sudden, we have this system growing, and you can see that suddenly this is giving off power. This will move to give off power, and when it does, we'll end up with power in the battery. power in the bulb. And that's because we're getting an overflow. There we are, there's 2, there's 3. We probably have to start with it, because otherwise we only get 1, 2, 3, and then it takes away. So that's just chasing its own tail. So it has to be something to do with this before we've perfected it. So is it that this is too short? Is it that this is too short? See, now we're not even, oh, we're getting 1, we're getting 2. 3, and it's away again. I don't know if it's even, I don't know if it's even that. I'm trying to work out what allows it to accumulate, because it's not allowed to accumulate here. And then what's happening in the chest? Yeah, see, it's dumping. We're losing way too much electricity. Like, if you imagine that is wattage loss, that's way, way too much, too fast. We're not accumulating here, and I need it to accumulate. And it's something to do with keeping this. Is it to do with keeping that on? So maybe if I'm just going to cut that off just now and see if that allows that to accumulate. Yeah, see, so that accumulates when that's on. Which means we get light. If we then switch this off, we start to lose power, which over time I think will happen sooner rather than later. We'll end up losing. So we're not quite finished. We're not quite done before we can move it to our renewable energy system. And I'm assuming this is just dumping hard, so, well, I don't know, we've got 19, 15 there. So maybe it just needs a head start. Maybe that's the point, is that you just give it a head start. And the idea is that if we then stop, actually I just want to, before we do that, yeah, because look, that's on 17, 15, 14. So this is accumulating. So is this. That's because I'm using different types. Actually, that's a point. What if I was using the same type? Let's do this again. Let's do this again and see what happens if I'm using the same type. Let's just oak, 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 oak. They're all oak, so that's fine. They're all oak. Take out the spruce and replace with, and the jungle, and the jungle, and the jungle, and the acacia, and the birch, and the spruce. Let's get rid of all of that. And the birch. And just get oak back in there. And dark oak. Oh, there's another dark oak. Whew, right, okay, let's make sure nothing is... See, that one's now not... But that's not working now. Why is that? Did we work out why that wasn't dropping? We did this before, didn't we? Oh, it's that. it stops here, so that's why we needed those. So I needed, that's it. And then it's going to drop. So that was okay. That's not an emergency. That's now just dropping out, but it's okay because I'm just going to get rid of that anyway. So that's empty. So now let's see what happens if we run the minecart. And what we end up with. I've got it. I've got it, I've got it, I've got it. By Jove. Check this out. I just need my head to get round it. But we're going to need 2 of those, and that's okay. So we're going to need redstone torch gap. Redstone torch gap. Get rid of all of that and that, and just have this going. And these don't need, these are just quick. I don't need them to be fast. Oh, I need that to be 1 more.